Hello and welcome to Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. I am Colred and the portal is blue. This is one of the most exciting events in the game. We have a 2x Ancient Shard event. Now, 2x Ancient Shard events double our chances for legendaries. They double our chances for epics from Ancient Shards. So if you are a newer player or if you're in the mid game, this is the best shard event for you because you're going to pick up a lot of good champions during a 2x Ancient Shard event. Now, I won't be pulling Ancient Shards on my main account today. I'm saving those up for a guaranteed legendary event. But we have kind of a special edition of a shard pull video here at Colred Plays because I will be pulling against my editor Sun. So if you don't know, we have a streaming series called Noob vs. Pro where my editor Sun and I started brand new accounts about 45 days ago. And this is our first really big 2x Ancient Shard event. We've both been waiting for this event. We can't wait to make our pulls. So I hope you're ready for it. Let's get started. All right, so here we are. Sun, welcome to another video. Yeah, this is exciting. We've been waiting a long time for this Ancient Shard event.
It has been a long time coming, and I am excited. I am ready to go.
Somebody in our Discord put a GIF up, a little meme about, like, you know, there's a button, it says do not push, and there's a guy sweating because he wants to push it. And I think that's how we all feel when we know a 2x Ancient Shard event is coming down the line. So how many shards have you actually saved up?
So I've saved up about 52.
Okay.
Now I've got enough gems to get another 10 pack, you know, kind of there's a little bit of extra there in the back coffer, but
for right now you're starting at 52. And I am starting at what looks like 65. So I have a few more Ancient Shards than you. But it's interesting because in terms of our two accounts, we started these accounts on the same day. And I know you're a grinder and I'm a grinder, right? We both just, we put hours into the game. We're min-maxers. We're always trying to learn. We're trying to get our most optimal play style out there. And despite the fact that it's a noob versus pro series, really at this point, 45 days in, you've accumulated a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge about the game, and you've put in a lot of hours. And I think one of the major differences between our two accounts right now, or I guess there are two. One is that this being your main account, this is your first account ever in Raid Shadow Legends, and this being my, 15th account or whatever it is, like, you are just out grinding me. That's just obvious because right now what's your account level right there?
I'm at 53, over halfway through.
Yeah, and you're getting close to 54. And I just hit 51, and we started on the same day. And we're getting to the point where, account levels take a couple of days to get through. So you're probably, a good, 8%, maybe 10% ahead of me in terms of experience on the account. Like, you're definitely pushing that account faster than I am. And I think the other major difference, at least early on, was the difference in champion pulls. Like, our shards that we've pulled in the first, 20 days or so, you did a lot better on your champions than I did.
I got pretty lucky. I got a Feign early, so that took care of Clan Boss for the most part. I got Apothecary much earlier. In fact, I don't even think you've pulled one yet.
I don't have an Apothecary, no.
Yeah, so I've had a little bit of a lead. Now, you started catching up with Runekeeper. That was a big pull for you. But yeah, I think probably the biggest difference, and it's kind of interesting to see, is just the different play styles a little bit as well. Because you focus more heavily on the dungeons, getting more gear, whereas I've been I need more 60s. I want a champion trade. I want to get more food done. And so that actually is also part of why I have less shards. So it's kind of interesting to see that.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think, again, both a grindy mentality. One of the things that I've spent the last week doing is I've been in the Minotaur's Labyrinth for a good week. And I have gotten all of my 5 top champions now pretty much maxed out on scrolls. But I only have 3 6-stars. Whereas, or actually, I guess I got 4. I have 4 now. Whereas you have 5 and you're close to a 6th, correct?
Yeah, I pretty much have everything ready to go for the poll today. So
yeah, so if you hit today,
the races.
Yeah, you're off to the races. Whereas if I hit today, I still probably have 2 or 3 days of grinding food before I could really 6-star another champion. But yeah, I definitely have caught up a little bit. And one of the places where we've caught up is if you could show your Clan Boss team, you just 1-keyed hard Clan Boss 2 days ago, correct?
Yep, somewhere right around there.
And I 1-keyed Clan Boss yesterday. So you were quite far ahead in Clan Boss, but I got a Frozen Banshee, and then I picked up a Stag Knight, and I've leveled those 2 champions up, and now my team is very close to your team. So you have a Fane, but you don't have a really, like, you don't have a tank. You don't have anything that's going to extend your life all that much. And you don't have some of the buffs you need. You don't have an increased attack buff yet. So there's
attack, ally protect, increase defense, any of that.
Yeah.
It would be really exciting for my team.
Right. Now I do have a decrease attack, but so do you. So that's sort of the one place where we're kind of similar. And I have Runekeeper Dazzdark, who gives me a heal and a cleanse, which is helpful. But I think I also have sort of my top, maybe not end game clan boss damage dealer, but Frozen Banshee is going to get me to Ultra Nightmare. So I've invested heavily in her, and now that I've got everybody masteried out, I expect that I'm going to move on into Brutal really quickly and do pretty effectively there. Whereas you really could potentially use a second very good clan boss damage dealer to supplement Fane, because as good as Fane is, right, she doesn't bring that many poisons. Right, she brings a couple of poisons. She brings a weaken, a decreased defense, a decreased attack. She's like a great debuffer. But so Kale is your primary damage dealer there. I imagine he's still doing more damage than Fane is.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the poison.
So, I was just thinking about champions that we could potentially pull today. And I was just kind of going through the list, and I was looking, I was like, you know what? Venom Mage would be perfect for either one of us. Venom Mage would be a really, really good pull. And there are a couple of other, champions that we could pull. But potentially, you actually have the option of pulling a Frozen Banshee as a rare. So you don't need an epic. You could potentially get a rare that could push your damage there. Not that you necessarily want a Frozen Banshee, but that would be a step up from Kale. And then obviously we have some other things going on. I think Rector Draft would be a really big win for either one of us. That would be a great champion. So yeah, there are definitely some really good epics out there and some good rares that are out there. I would love an Apothecary. That would be nice. But then again, we also have the chances of legendaries. And I think at this point, neither one of us have pulled a legendary other than the Sun Wukong, which was free.
Yeah, exactly. Not a single legendary pull yet. So I'm hoping. I don't have my hope exceeding what I think is going to happen, but
right. Well, for me, as far as my like, projection of this is concerned, because this is your main account, like first of all, I'm always rooting for you, even though it's kind of competitive.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see you hit. And then as soon as you hit, I want to hit, and I'm a little bit scared because this is not my main. Like, I'm going to pull a Geomancer today or something, which I still don't have on my main account. That's always my fear, that I'm going to get a champion. Like, I'm going to get a Duchess Lilitu. I still don't have on my main account. So, I kind of hope that I get something good, but maybe not something so good that I can't, get over the fact that I don't have it on my main account. But for you, I would love to see you hit if you hit a top tier legendary, that's going to be great. A Duchess or a Bad Alcazar or Corvus or a Kaimar or anything. I mean, yes, you need a tank, but a great legendary is just a great legendary. So
exactly.
All right. Well, so we decided we're going to do this in a particular way here. So I'm going to take you off screen rather. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull down to my 60 shards. So I'm going to do 5 single pulls, and then I'll do a 10 pull, and then you're going to do your single pulls and a 10 pull, and then we're going to swap back and forth 10 pulls, kind of see what happens that way. So it's like a little bit of a race. We'll see who collects more epics and more legendaries. There is a champion chase event going on. The point totals on the champion chase today are very, very high. They're the highest I've ever seen. So we need 3650 just to get the extra Selenia or something like that.
Selenia.
We both already have a copy of her, but she would be a free book for our Selenia if we wanted to use them that way, or just an extra chicken. So, all right. So I'm going to start here. It's always a big day. I mean, 65 shards. 65 shards.
Yeah, it's a big pull.
It's a big pull. Okay. Here we go. Number 1. Let's start off with a nice opener. It is an epic.
Oh.
It is an epic. So 250 points. It's a Soul Drinker. Soul Drinker's an interesting guy. He's got this passive where when he dies, where is it? Yeah. He places 2 bombs when he dies. So in compositions where you want him to die and potentially you use him with a reviver, obviously it's a 5-turn cooldown, so you can't reset it. But yeah, so he's a bomb champion, kind of an interesting bomb champion. I don't know if I'll ever build him, but he'll go on my Faction Wars team. All right, so starting off with an epic is nice. Let's see. All right, we got a rare. Sentinel. I'm not going to worry too much about the rares. I got a Diabolist. The most common champion I pull in the game that's rare, probably. Or one of the two. All right, Chaplain's not a bad rare. Not that I need her. My Sacred Order's doing quite well. Obviously, I have Athel as the starter champion. And then Halberdier from the Bannerlords. Okay, so those were my single pulls. Not bad. As far as single pulls are concerned, I got an epic and 4 rares. Nobody's super exciting, but still not bad. All right, so here's my first 10 pull. Here's my first 10 pull.
Big one.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's see some
All
gold.
right, let's see something. Yeah, I want to see gold. Let's see gold. At least some good epics. They're going to blue tax me. They did. I started off with a blue tax. I pulled an Athel. I do have a War Maiden here. One of the other things that we didn't talk about today is when you're pulling a bunch of rares like this, a bunch of Ancient Shards, you have a chance to get champions for the Razin fusion, right? Because a lot of those champions can only be pulled from shards. So when you pull one of those champions, it's also kind of a win. You don't really think about that while you're pulling because you want to see epics and legendaries. But if you pull one of those champions, it's not a bad thing. All right, so yeah, that's it for my 10 pulls. So nothing exciting there. So why don't we get you started? All right, so you got how many? 2 single pulls first?
Yep, we're gonna do 2 single pulls and then we'll do 1 10 pull. And we'll keep switching back and forth. Let's see what we do.
Let's open up with something good. I got an epic. Can you top that? Can you get a legendary? Get a legendary.
Spikehead, that's actually a duplicate for me.
All right. He is a fusion champ, I think.
And a witness.
Yeah, she's okay. All right, 10 pull. 10 pull time. Get it. Get it.
All right.
Something big. Let's see gold. Ooh, we got an epic. Decent epic. How about another? All right, you got Qui-Gon. He's a decent support for the Lizardman faction. You actually could build him out because you don't have an increased attack champion yet. And he has a really interesting ability where he places increased attack or increased defense depending on the target champion. At least I think that's how that works.
Yeah, it looks like for percentage or higher percentage attack, they get attack, and then higher percentage defense, they get defense.
Yeah, so he can actually be used as like a multi-support. Like regardless of who your nuker is, he's going to buff them the right way. Do you know what I mean? So he's not bad. I've built him to flesh out a Faction Crypts team before. I've actually built him on multiple accounts. And I've used him like in the early game as an arena buffer. I've definitely done that at like 4 stars, but I've never actually taken him to 6 stars. So I don't know how strong he is at 6 stars, but that's a legitimate pull. That's not a bad pull. Probably better than my epic.
Yeah, I'm also just excited to see what looks like potentially some Shadowkin for once in my life.
Yeah, that's true too.
Faction's finally going to get moving.
Right. All right, let's switch over now. This is back on my account here, so I'm at 50 shards now. All right, so time to do a 10 pull here. All right, let's see something. They blue taxed me last time. Give me something. Give me something. There's, back to back. Oh, Doom Priest. Very, very nice. 3 of them. All right, so I got 3 epics. Now, Wyronin's okay. She's really good for Faction Crypts, and I don't have any. This is just like you were talking about with your Shadowkin. I don't have any Sylvan Watchers, so this is my first Sylvan Watcher. So that's going to be good. Flesh Terror is probably just going to be a chicken. I don't think he's particularly useful. But Doom Priest is a really good pull because she can potentially help my Clan Boss team go affinity friendly. Now, probably not right away. Like that would be down the road a little bit, but she's a really good support for a bunch of different places. So she's worth a 6 star. So that is I don't know that I need her right now, but I'm going to build her out to 5 stars, probably keep her around. And then if I need her on a team, I can build her out to 6. Abyssal is also a decent rare. All right, let's switch over.
Not a bad pull.
Yeah, not a bad 10 pull. Definitely not. Three epics is good. That's a lot of points there. All right, so now it's your turn. Now you got to catch back up. I'm ahead of you on the epics.
Let's see if we can't hit it.
Yeah, if you get gold, then you're going to leap ahead of me here. Come on, let's get something. Oh, there's a good epic. Another epic.
2,
3,
4. Hey, catch it up.
Wow. You just launched right ahead of me. Okay, so let me just walk you quickly through these because you might not know it. Now you know Sinesha a little bit because I've pulled her. She's a healer in the Knights Revenant faction. Yeah, and she's got an AoE on her A1. And she is Skull Crown's sister. She's the duo of Skull Crown. So if you end up pulling a Skull Crown during one of your Void Shard events, this is a really good champion to pair up with her. On her own, she's solid, but not amazing. But she's definitely going to do Faction Crypt's work for you. Now, the next one is, what's his name there again?
Spider? Oh, he's a Dark Elf.
Okay, so that's Spider. I actually couldn't see on my screen. It's a little bit small. So he can be useful. He's not bad. I don't know him as well as some of the other Night Elves, but he's not he looks like the Reviver. There's a Reviver in, I said Night Elves again, Dark Elves. So he looks like Fang Cleric, but a little bit, but he's this guy's more of a debuffer. So he does have a decreased defense on all enemies and a lesser weaken on all enemies, which is actually really nice. And then he's actually got a decent speed aura in dungeons, so you could use him in some dungeons. Bushi is not a champion you're going to care very much about. Arndulf is interesting because he actually has an 100% AoE weaken as well. So definitely very good in the Bannerlords faction. I don't know if you'll ever use him for that outside of it. I think he also has a provoke.
Yeah, he has a A1 provoke.
Yeah, single target, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely a decent champion, another decent epic. No clear, like, instant 6 stars there, but definitely some champions to play around with and see if you need them.
Not a bad pull.
Not a bad pull. Four epics and a 10 pull is very good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch over. And now I'm down to 40 shards. Okay, so here's another 10 pull. So let's see. I think you're one ahead now, right? You have pulled ahead. 5 and I've pulled 4. And I think we should both be pulling. I should be pulling around 10 epics if I hit the expected return. I think you're going to pull around 9, but you're already ahead of me. So you know how that works. RNG goes the way RNG goes. All right, so 10 pull. Ooh, Delaja. I was actually thinking about Delaja. Hey, I got a Quargon and a Sanguinia and a Scabriet. Holy cow. And a Bloodfeather. That's 5. That's intense.
Are we just one-upping each other now?
Yeah, this is crazy. Now you got to pull 6. Okay, so first of all, I pulled the same Quargon. He's great. I don't need him because I have Runekeeper Dazzurg, obviously, as my increased attack. But that's going to be a good support for the Lizardman faction. Delaja is also a really good champion for the Lizardman faction. You can use her outside of the faction crypt, but she has this passive where she counterattacks whenever a Lizardman is attacked. So she's really powerful in the faction crypt. And then you have Sanguinia, so I've doubled up here. But the other thing is, I got Petrifia Rockroot. She's one of the fusion rares. And she was the one rare I probably wasn't going to get. And she's probably the one rare that could do the most work for me in boss fights, because she actually really pairs well with Frozen Banshee. Again, I don't know that I'm going to put her on my clan boss team, but I could think about it. She could be really good. All right, so that was big. I got a lot of points there.
Yeah, huge.
I got a lot of points there. Okay, so let's swap over. So now you need to pull 6.
I need to pull 6 for her.
I've never seen that happen. I don't think I've ever seen 6 before. 5 is I've only seen a few times.
Well, we'll give it a shot.
Well, it doesn't matter. The way you go above this is just get a gold. Forget getting 6.
Starting it.
Yeah, just let's hit gold. Let's see gold. All right, that's actually maybe the best epic that we've seen so far, which is Sepulchre Sentinel.
Really?
Yeah, and she is exactly what you need, actually.
Decrease attack, increase defense, and block debuffs. Yeah.
Yeah, you need a tank on your clan boss team to extend the life. She's going to give you that. Her passive is really interesting, too, because she has a chance of just negating damage from landing on somebody. So she could be a perfect pull for you. I mean, obviously it's not ally protect, but if you can get her in a guardian set, you get a little bit of that ally protect out there, and then she's gonna do some good work for you. But no 6 epics. Just
not yet.
Yeah, we'll have to see. All right, so let's see. I gotta switch back to me. All right, we've got 30 more shards. I've got 30 more shards. How many? You have 20 left, right?
20 left. Yep.
Okay.
But we can reload a little bit more. So
yeah, which is a decent option to have. I don't have that option. Come on, let's see some gold. Let's see something. Ooh, okay, 2 epics. All right, so this is actually not a bad 10 pull. I got Lochwain in the Sylvan Watchers faction, and he's okay. And then I've got a Shadowbow Turlock, and I got another fusion rare. I got Longsword Torix. So I actually now have everything I need to get one of the fusion epics. So potentially I could be going after that. I wasn't really chasing one of the epics too hard on this account. I was thinking about it, but so I could potentially get one of the epics and still hold on to a few of the rares, which would be really nice. All right, let's swap over to you. So you got 20 more pulls. I still want to see gold. We got to get you some gold, son. We got to get you out your first legendary.
Open.
Yeah. Let's see.
Right, let's give it a shot.
Come on, get it.
It's looking mighty
No blue tax. No blue tax. No. It had to happen at some point.
Had to happen. You had one early. I got one late.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You did pick up a Corpulent Cadaver. You are years away from using that champion in the broken way in which she is not intended, or he is not intended, but is used anyway. Yeah, so nothing really jumps out there. Some okay rares. You did get an Heiress, so that's nice. An extra copy of an Heiress to hold on to in case you need her for a clan boss team down the road.
Yep, a lot of duplicates for me, so.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead, and I've got 2 more 10 pulls here, so second to last one. The thing is, I want you to hit first. Like, I still want something, though. I'm not going to complain if they give me something here. Watch. I get a blue tax now. Oh, we got another epic. We got 2 more epics. Chitis is interesting. He's a good damage dealer. Excruciator, these are okay epics. Nothing super exciting here. This is my second Athel, I think. Now,
yeah.
Hellborn Sprite is kind of an interesting rare, and I should shout her out because on these accounts, she could actually play. So she has, where is it? She has this ability: increases duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, then places crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns. Now you already have your buff extender, I think, right? You have is Anchorite a buff extender?
That's a good question. I don't believe
he has a mini cleanse. Does he have a buff extension?
Yeah, he does. It's on his A2.
Yeah, so you have.
I knew that it cleansed, but yeah, then
right.
That increases duration of buffs.
Yeah, so he removes a random debuff from all allies and increases duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown. So you have your buff extender. But if somebody's looking for a buff extender and doesn't have another option, Hellborn Sprite can fill that role. Now, there's a buff extending epic in the fusion going on right now. I think that's Malkith. So if you can get Malkith, then you've got that covered as well from the epic rarity, as opposed to needing to go all the way down to a rare. So I think Hellborn Sprite has been power crept a little bit. She used to be sort of the rare solution for that problem, but now there are so many buff extenders that you can probably do better than Hellborn Sprite. Let's switch back to you. This is the last 10 pull before you have to dip into gems.
Yep.
So let's hope you land something.
Let's give it a go.
Get it. Let's hit something big. Come on. Nuh-uh. Hit it. Hit it. Ouch.
Blue tax.
That hurts. That hurts. I mean, you did get a metal shaper there, but you already have one.
Yep.
Yeah, several dwarves there for faction crypts if you need, and you did get 1 fusion champion, but I think she's for the Relic Keeper fusion, so you probably don't even need her.
That was actually the second sorcerer, so.
Yeah. Okay, so
great on that one.
That was rough. That was a little rough. They know that you have gems to spend, so they're like, we're gonna make them spend the gems.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going in for the
11 I was planning on doing that anyways. It was more of a, if I hit something before spending them, great. If I don't, I've got them, so
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
All right. So this is going to be my last 10 pull. I don't have gems to spare, so I might be able to get gems before the end of the weekend. There's still, 2 days and 17 hours left, so I could potentially do another 11 pulls somewhere on Sunday, maybe. But for right now, this is it, which is, I think, okay, because honestly, like, nobody has jumped out as like an instant gotta build, but I've gotten a lot of epics to consider and, a lot of chickens, and I need to run up some more 60s anyway. I have 2 champions who are still 50 on my clan boss team that need to be 60. But I'm trying to reverse psychology the RNG. I'm like, I don't need anything. If you just gave me something, I mean, I'd take it, but this is funny. Okay, so let's go ahead and do my last 10 pull here. Let's see. They're going to blue tax me on the way out, probably. Nope.
No?
A second Doom Priest. Now, she's the best champion that I've pulled today, and now I've pulled her twice. Which, like,
got an extra copy, just in case.
The first one felt really good. The second one doesn't feel great. So, I mean, she'll be a faction guardian, right? Now I'll have a faction guardian in that faction at the epic rarity, which is great. You could build 2 Doom Priests out. Like, you could have one at 40 and one at 60 or something. I don't know for a fact. I don't why. It's extra heals. Or I could turn her into an epic tome for the other Doom Priest. But you don't need to book Doom Priest. She's like one of those champions that you can run completely unbooked. So literally, this is probably just a faction guardian. I don't think there's any other value here for that. So, okay, well, that's all right. I don't mind. I have a Doom Priest. She's decent to build out, and like I said, I have other things to do. But we really need to get you another champion. I think Sepulchre Sentinel is a very good pull for you. And that could potentially, be your next 6-star. But I'd love to see some gold on this account. Let's get some gold on this account.
Got a few more, so.
You're going to do the 1 pull first and then the 10 pull, or are you going
to? Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We'll do the 1 pull. Watch this be the goal.
Right, that would be fantastic. Epic, though.
Hey. Franox.
Yeah. I don't really know. I don't know her that well.
Attack.
I don't think she's all that good.
Nothing too great for me.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do
right, but more points is more points.
10 pull. Exactly.
Come on. It's got to be here. Come on.
Right in the end.
Well, 2 more epics with your 11 pull there. You did pull an Abyssal, who's a very good rare. Yeah. So maybe nothing super exciting. Scion's not that interesting. But why don't we check our champion chase points? Why don't you go ahead and see where you stand? I don't know who got more epics. I stopped counting. Yeah, click the red buttons. Get all the red buttons. I can't either. I can't.
All the red buttons.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look. Okay. So we jumped up pretty decently here. 28-24.
28-24. And that's really, it's kind of crazy that like you have to get all the way to, what is it, 3650 now for the champ. That's just frustrating. So again, if we get enough gems, maybe for another set of pulls at the end of the weekend, we could do that. Or, we could just hold on to what gems we have and pour them into energy and run up the champions that we got. And it's good that you've gotten at least one really solid epic to potentially build out, and it will help your account. I think getting Sepulchre Sentinel on your clan boss team is going to extend the life of your clan boss team. And you may even have some rejiggering to do because she could work really well with Anchorite because you get that buff extension, you get that increased defense up 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And then you could use his cleanse to cleanse the stun, but then you have to swap out somebody. And that becomes a little bit tricky. So yeah, could be interesting. All right, let me see how I'm doing on the champion chase points. So where did you end up?
Ended up just shy of the 3,000 mark, 2,800 something.
And what did you pull? You pulled 63 shards and I pulled 65, right? So
yeah.
So actually, I did hit a little bit better than you because I have the champion. So I'm actually at 4,000 points. So I think it was that when I hit those 5 epics, I think that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So I did get an extra champion. Now I'm 500 points away from this legendary tome. So I will get this legendary tome. I will, if I need to, but spend those gems to get another 11 pull at the end of the weekend. That'll give me more opportunities to get this legendary tome. And 2 epics would do it, which is entirely possible during a 2x event on a 10 pull. We've seen that happens quite a bit. 16% chance. And then obviously there are mystery shards. You can get champion chase points from any champions you buy from the market. You can get them from campaign. So I should be able to get this first legendary tome. The question is, could I go for the second, right? Because if I get like 3 or 4 epics, if I happen to have a really big, 11 pull, then potentially I could go for that second legendary tome. And I'm currently sitting in 4th place in my tournament, which is not too bad. I'll get knocked down. I will definitely get knocked down, but I could end up in the top 10. It is still the first day. It's still the first half of day. So, but yeah, not too bad. I wonder if you get points for getting the champion from the champion chase. Now let's find that out. So a rare would give me it's a void rare. It should give me 50 points, I think. So if I get a void rare, will I jump up to 40, 60? I don't think I did. I don't think you get points from the tournament that you need points for, which makes sense. You shouldn't. Yeah, I didn't get points for that.
Be a nice little double dip.
Yeah, that would be kind of a weird double dip there. So, all right, that was. What do you think? Was that successful? You waited for so long, right? We went for the 2x event. We waited for so long, and no gold. But how do you feel?
No, it feels good. I mean, part of it is kind of just putting in that time and waiting for it. And when you're giving yourself the best possible opportunity, hey, sometimes you don't hit, the gold and everything is great and amazing, but still got, the best possible outcome that we could get. So
how many?
Yeah, no, it feels good.
How many Razin champions did you pick up?
That is a good question. I mean, quite a few of them were duplicates, I believe, that I already had.
Yeah, I picked up 2 Thurgists, but I already had. She was the only one I had, so I now have 3 of her. In fact, no, I'm sorry. I had one other. But so I only picked up 1. I picked up Halberdier or whatever his name is in the Bannerlords faction.
Yeah, I think I got 1.
You have a lot more than I do. I have 3 total. How many do you have now?
10 of them.
Oh, I just noticed this. Maybe somebody noticed this earlier, but I actually picked up one of the Razin epics. I picked up Bloodfeather.
You did?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I picked up Bloodfeather, who is a Razin epic. So that's as good as, getting 4 of those rares. And she's also she's not an epic I care about. I'll run her up to 50 and use her in faction crypts until I fuse her. But the nice thing is I actually have one of the rares for her fusion at 4 stars. So that's going to give me a free 5-star chicken because I picked up Bloodfeather. I now have a new free 5-star chicken.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I have to get her to a 5-star chicken. She's level 40 right now, but that's actually a nice little bonus. So sometimes, even when you don't hit, you kind of hit somewhere when you're pulling, 50, 60, 70 shards. And I do think, between my Doom Priest and your Sepulchre Sentinel, it wasn't a complete waste. We also picked up a ton of faction crypt rares and epics.
Yeah, tons.
So we'll probably have to spend a couple of hours looking around and seeing what we actually got. Because when there's no clear, oh, that's a great legendary that you just pulled or top tier epic like a Geomancer or something, you have to kind of do some calculations. But I think we've got some opportunities here. I think it's going to play out in our favor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, we got extra chickens.
Yep.
We got some champions to play around with, potentially build new combinations.
Yeah. And now we've only got to wait 2 weeks to Sacred Shards.
Yeah, there you go.
And I've got 3 Sacred Shards sitting here, so.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. All right, son. Well, thanks for joining me here. You're not as often on this side of the screen in videos, but it was great to have you get everybody a little bit more familiar with your face. And by the way, if you want to see more of Sun, and who doesn't, we have our live stream on Saturday, Noob versus Pro series. We'll be back on these accounts. And at that point, we'll probably have consolidated our gains and figured out what we're doing with all of these new champions that we got. So come join us. It's 11 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, that is it for us. Please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, consider joining our Discord community as well. That's it. I guess we're done. We will see you in a live stream, hopefully, very soon.